What's up, dogs? And welcome back to the second last installment of the Good For You Awards. By the way, that last joke in the previous episode was not some kind of creative or clever thing that I did. It was literally born out of the fact that I'm running out of jokes. I've got nothing. Just like these games have no merit. Oh, see what I did there? I've been very clear about the fact that I find most gamers to be appalling critics because for some reason, games cannot simply be average or decent or good. They're either amazing or quote-unquote trash. Hence why I generally don't concern myself too much with the opinions of a lot of gamers unless I trust their judgment. That said, sometimes when gamers say a game sucks, they're on point. The reason why I made the distinction between the worst game of the year and the worst AAA game of the year is that even the most god-awful major games are still better than the true worst games of the year, which crop up on mobile devices or on the greenlight section of Steam. There's no way that the bad games this year on the AAA front are on the same level as those. So keeping in mind that we're looking exclusively at major titles since I avoid mobile games and those small titles like the plague, the nominees for the worst AAA game of 2015 are Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The more I look back on my experience with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the more I think, wow, that game was actually pretty incompetent. Yeah, I addressed this in my review, but I was definitely too lenient. The game is not fun. That's something I remember about the experience, on top of the fact that it was repetitive and pretty mundanely designed, especially in regards to the missions. The combat was actually worse this time around, with the developers confusing difficulty with aggravatingly long health bars. The entire experience was just bad, and makes this game impossible to recommend in good conscience. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. You know, while I think you need to try something before judging it, if my waiter placed a plate of cow turds mixed with battery fluid on my table, I think basic eyesight would dictate that my meal would suck. That is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Are you really going to try and argue that I should buy this thing to play it to actually go, wait a minute, this is horrendous? It's another one of those stupid games where you have to buy additional toys to even be able to play it. DLC is not even on the same level of these outright exploitative games like Skylanders and Lego Dimensions, which Amiibo Festival seems to draw inspiration from for some reason. On top of that, what is there to the game? Mario Party is already pretty shallow, but at least I don't need to buy tons of toys to play it all. I really like Animal Crossing, I really do. I put an excessive amount of hours into Wild World on the DS and New Leaf on the 3DS. What I would like to see is an actual Animal Crossing game on the Wii U. Not Animal Crossing Mario Party, but crap. The Order 1886. No, this game was not average, it's shit. Once again, I was way too lenient on this piece of garbage when it first released. The Order is a bad game. A very bad game. It's got no value or depth or replayability, a story that isn't even halfway decent, and combat that isn't fun. The only thing that this game has is graphics, which are often wasted when they're just walking around brown and grey environments and when it's running at 30 frames per second. And in 5 years, when other games look better, then what? Then it has nothing to offer. The Order is not average, it's fucking awful. So, knowing that Assassin's Creed Syndicate isn't even really in competition with the latter two nominees, I had to make a choice. What did I hate more? The sign that a company I like is going down a dark path, or a game that perfectly represents everything wrong with modern game design? Well, I think I'm going to be a bit spiteful, thanks to the blood-boiling experiences I had on N4G earlier this year, arguing with people, telling me that I was wrong because I knew that this game would suck. So to those guys, I extend my middle finger. The winner of the worst AAA game of 2015 is undeniably The Order 1886. Like I said, this game is a nothing game. It offers nothing. The gameplay does nothing new and actually regresses the third-person shooter genre if you think about it, with those stupid werewolf battles where instead of doing something cool, you just engage in these boring quick time events. It's short, it offers no replay value, it's boring, it has a predictable, unengaging story, and just aggravates me beyond belief. Unlike some of the other games I've talked about unfavorably this year, this game had no chance. It was in the hands of a clearly incompetent studio with their heads so far up their ass they were choking on their pancreas. Fuck this game.